Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoy the content that I produce on my channel, a like on the video would go a very long way for me. And I do want to let you guys know before I get into the messages, there are some things that I've been working on that are entering the completion phase of the process. So there should be some fun stuff coming for you guys pretty soon. My message today is about some of the kind of shuffling of the deck that's going on behind the scenes and the changes that are occurring in the non-physical that usually tend to work into the physical as we continue to move forward in time. And I've been encountering things in the Akashic Records that has prompted investigation. And we're here to bring the results of that. And I want to use an example from my daily life and from my personal life to kind of, set the tone for the other things that will come through. Today, I woke up in kind of a bad mood and, everybody does it. I, was just not feeling this place. I was having a hard time coming back into my body. I was having a hard time getting excited about some things I was going to be working on during the day, and some things that I was going to cross paths with as the day continued. There was just not a lot of drive and motivation and all that kind of good stuff that we need to function and be happy in this place working through me. So usually when that happens, I get focused on ritual and discipline. I will go into my inner world and I'll start broadcasting mantras and affirmations, and I usually goes something like this for me. I will focus myself. I will repeat 4 times, align, 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 align. Clear, 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 clear. Love, 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 love. Light, 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 light. And I will basically repeat these until I feel kind of like the biome of energy that I am has regained its harmonization. My point in bringing this information to you is there are guides on the other side of the veil who are looking for my affirmations as kind of like objectives and duties for them to fulfill. So when I'm sitting there using my affirmations, setting my intentions, focusing myself to kind of prepare the stage of reality and life for my entering into it, there are guides on the other side who are known as advocates, who are looking specifically for me to take those kinds of spiritual actions. And whatever it is that I'm broadcasting, that becomes their mantra, that becomes their affirmation, that becomes what they are broadcasting and radiating and kind of bombarding my field of energy from their perspective and their angle with. So there's, continuing effort and motivation and replenishment taking place even beyond those initial moments when I'm sitting there in bed, reaffirming with myself that everything's okay and everything's going to kind of find its alignment in the way that it's supposed to. So we have a lot of different kinds of guides, and most of us who are listening to this video do have advocates. They are one of the more common kind of guides, and they're focused on nurturing. They're focused on what you're focused on. They're wanting what you're wanting, and those kinds of things. One of the most interesting things about working in the Akashic Records and having so many readings with people is, it's tremendously fun to open the records and to have guides come forward. And for those guides to let you know what their job is and where they come from and how long they've been with you and how long they will be with you as you continue forward. And they might even tell you the stories of you having recruited them to come to the earth with you to kind of collaborate within the energy and density here to work in creation in ways that neither of us have had the opportunity to before. So some interesting things started happening when the clock moved to 2025. I started opening the Akashic Records for people, expecting kind of the standard set of guides that I've gained familiarity with to be there. And what I've encountered is sometimes the guides will be different. Sometimes there will be a way greater number of them than there was before. Sometimes there will be more, way less than there had been before. Or you'll ask about a certain guide and they'll be gone, or they will have resigned or stepped down from their position, or they will have like completed their task or their duties and they've moved into a spectator kind of a role. So most of the souls on the earth have different kinds of guides arriving, different kinds of guides leaving, depending on where we are in our soul journey and what we've come to the earth to investigate and to learn. So I want to talk about some of that, because most of you who are watching my videos fall into the category of the ones that are waking up and the ones that are expanding their consciousness, and the ones that have kind of like passed certain energetic hurdles in their, ascension and clearing and healing journey. Worth repeating, when I first opened my Akashic Records, I encountered one of my Pleiadian guides, who is me from another dimensional space, who came forward and let me know that they were my curiosity catalyst, meaning that I had had a spiritual awakening 10 years before this encounter, an awakening full of curiosity, an awakening full of wonder, an awakening with a thirst for knowledge and awareness that was unquenchable. And then to enter into the records and to make contact with a guide who's on the other side, pitching you those ideas, bringing those thought forms into your field of consciousness that you'll pick up on, and they'll either captivate you or they won't. So when we start to learn about our guides individually and their jobs and their duties and their story for having, how are they here? Why are they working with us? Were they assigned to us, or did we recruit them? Some of the players are changing. A lot of you have angel guides that are specifically focused on karmic processes, releasing, integrating, moving karma, retrieving karma, whatever the task is with the karmic situation in your incarnation specifically. It's likely that you have guides that are managing and maintaining those things. In this new energy, most of the old souls that are waking up have taken care of so much of their karma that they can solely focus on their dharma. So we have guides that are like ending their karmic shifts. They're moving on to other things, and maybe they stay on your team and maybe they start focusing on other kinds of exchanges energetically. But for the most part, what they want to do is they want to complete their task, and then they want to observe, the product of their work from the perspective that they want to. A lot of you listening to this are going to have shadow self-diplomats stepping down from their position, meaning that you are going to be more entrusted with your vibrational state. You're asked to use the tools and to implement the things that you've learned along the way. You're asked to integrate your knowledge of frequency and vibration and how those things accommodate manifestation and what you're attracted to and what you're aligning with. So there, in this new energy, there will be a lot of wagons that are unhitched. There's also going to be a little bit of the training wheels coming off, so that we move into these systems with the education that we've kind of cultivated here to see the byproduct of what manifests from it. A lot of you in 2025 are going to have veil keepers leaving the team. And, it's this kind of guide that brings a lot of information into the awareness. They're a veil keeper. They're a facilitator and a maintainer of illusions, which we're trying to break here. We're trying to get rid of those things. So when we observe that there's veil keepers in our team of guides, it lets us know that the illusions can be purposeful, and that maybe we've hired these illusionists to come to the earth with us so that they could help cultivate a certain kind of experience that would bring forward what we're looking for here. No need in the new earth for illusions and veils that hide the truth and that keep us from entertaining those aspects of ourselves that are more celestial in their nature. Many of you listening to this are going to have timekeepers leaving the field. Timekeepers are, in my 4.5 years, 5 years, whatever it is, of being an Akashic Records practitioner, timekeepers are one of the more common guys that you run into. But because most of us are leaving duality, leaving linearity consciously, the timekeepers are not as much of a necessity as they were previously. So we would have timekeepers working behind the scenes to make sure that we're in the right place at the right time, and that we cross paths with the things that we're meant to see and the lessons that we're meant to learn. Some of the new guides that are coming forward, and there are a handful of those too, at least what I've seen to this point. A lot of you are going to start having pathfinders coming forward. And pathfinders are important because they help us cultivate the timeline that meets our potential and meets our vibrational states. Pathfinders organically observe our wants, needs, and interests, and our motivations and ambitions. And they help to kind of cultivate timelines that are healthy for those things, or meaningful and purposeful for those things. So there will be a lot of pathfinders coming forward, which a lot of people have been waiting for a long time. Some of you are going to start having reformers coming forward, agents of change, guides who come into the circumstances with more tools and more authority and more consent at their disposal and new energy than maybe some of these that we've been working with in the older energy. The reformers are supposed to help us find our footing in the new versions of us. The reformers are supposed to help tear down anything that's not working, anything that's not healthy or productive in this place. Many of the old souls are having pilots arrive on the team. Pilots that can help them navigate to and from the body, pilots that can help us move to and from dimensional spaces to fulfill whatever task has been given to us there. Pilots are important. I see pilots once in a while, depending on the kind of dream work that is being performed. But pilots are important because they help us in our multidimensional state get from point A to point B, from point A to point B, having used as few resources from our physical self and our waking life as possible. We're also going to be having innovators entering our field, meaning guides are coming into the field specifically to problem solve, to innovate, to create, to reframe or restructure things for us, to observe what's here in the third dimension, and to get busy manifesting alternate or better or higher versions of what's already here. If you open the Akashic Records, you can meet these guides, you can see what they look like, you can learn where they come from, you can get what their name is, and you don't necessarily have to come to me to be able to do that, but I would love to if the opportunity arises. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening, you guys. It was very late at night when I recorded this video. I usually record during the day, during the afternoon. I was not quite able to do that today. That's why I look a little tired. Anyway, I will see you soon. Goodbye.